Good evening and welcome once again to UBC News Tonight, the second edition at 10 p.m. My name is Moureen Babirye. Let's see what the headlines are.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
General Mugisha Muntu campaigns in Rakai and Chotera districts promising to achieve meaningful change. FDC presidential candidate Nandala Mafabi advises Lira district residents to elect leaders who use government funds effectively. A call to universal access to palliative care can achieve the promise. And corporates run for expectant mothers.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
UBC News Tonight. Now, in our first report, Alliance for National Transformation presidential candidate General Mugisha Muntu has launched his campaign in Greater Masaka, covering Rakai and Chotera districts. He called on residents to support the opposition peacefully, saying people power remains key to achieving meaningful change. We have a report.
Sintamire obuyinza, sintamire sente, sintamire bitiibwa. Kubanga naliko mu bifo nga bwe mbabuulidde ku myaka 3 ffe nga tuyingidde mu gavumenti ekisooka kwe kuta abo bonna abakwatiddwa ku lwa politics. Ekyokubiri kwe kulaba nti naffe tetutamiira. Kintu kikulu nnyo abantu simanyi oba bakitegeera aba tebakitegeera.
Kyenziza okuwasaba olwaleero bannyabo ne bassebo ab'Erakai. General Museveni byakozeeko abikozeeko. Byatanakola tabisobole. Abitulekere ffe abanaabikola.
Tukiriza nti lubaale wanisazi mu byobufuzi bya Uganda ali ku Kyagulanyi. Lwaki lowooza osabeera? Lwaki ffe abali eno nga mwe yatumenye PFF balendyasi lukwago General Gregory Mugisha Mutoyera ne Kyagulanyi. Lwaki tetwegatta ne tujjayo omuntu omu kuba byonna mubikoze naye waliwo ateekeddwa okufuna amagezi ag'ekikugu agakwata eggwanga nga bwe mukimanyi. Awo we wabulamu tutereeza awo sajja ono tumuwagire kubanga tutambudde naye
Ndi muntu ateeka ekitiibwa mu buli muntu.
Relatedly, FDC presidential candidate Nathan Nandala Mafabi has urged residents of Lira district to elect leaders who use government funds for projects that directly benefit citizens, such as improving teachers' welfare.
While campaigning in Aromo and Ayami sub-counties, Mafabi was disappointed over salary inequalities among teachers, saying they affect education in public schools. He also paid tribute to the late MP Charles Anjiro Gutomoi for his service to the people of Erot.
You are the first people to be the agents, you are the first people to be the mobilizers. When you do that, there will be nothing to defeat us as far as Isaac is concerned.
Efforts to block his rally at Akore Primary School, Mafabi addressed supporters and received blessings from Elder Johnson Opito Mogo, a friend of former President Milton Obote.
They have not gone to school, and I'm sure tomorrow they are not going to school. Here, bringing you a saucepan, while your children are not going to what? To school, while hers are going to what? If she had come to this school and said, I got 300 million from Parliament, I have brought it here, I want us to increase the salary of the teachers who are not getting like science teachers, so that our children of this area can go to school, it would have made a point. It would have made a what? A point. Than bringing a saucepan where she has made a profit. And it's over, I think, 121 people. Yeah. And that was a great loss to us. And as you are aware, in our manifesto, we are very clear that people should not be deprived of life. People should not be deprived of property. Those who have done, they should be compensated handsomely. So support us so that you give us your vote and you take power so that we do compensation for people.
As Uganda joins the world to commemorate World Hospice and Palliative Care Day 2025, attention turns to the growing need for palliative care in the country. Ministry of Health and stakeholders are calling for stronger community involvement and universal access to services, since nearly 500,000 Ugandans need palliative care.
Palliative care is the active, holistic care given to individuals with serious health-related suffering, particularly those nearing the end of life. Globally, the demand for palliative care continues to rise, driven by an aging population and the growing burden of NCDs. Yet, worldwide, only 14% of those in need receive it.
The World Hospice and Palliative Care Day is celebrated annually, and I want to appreciate the Palliative Care Association of Uganda.
This year's World Hospice and Palliative Care Day is celebrated under the theme, Achieving the Promise, Universal Access to Palliative Care. The theme builds on the global call made 10 years ago by the World Health Assembly, urging countries to make palliative care an essential part of comprehensive health services throughout life.
To raise resources as the number 4 objective of this is to support us in civil society, but also to appeal to governments to increase the investment, but also resources in terms of human resource.
Through the Minister of Health, Uganda has made great progress by integrating palliative care into national health plans since 2004.
Government guided that there should be one health arching policy. So now we now transforming all that information we have and others to develop a strategy, palliative care strategy. We hope when we celebrate the next Palliative Care Day that we should have passed it.
We thank the government for already the strides that have been taken to embrace palliative care, but also to be there whenever we call upon them as a palliative care society.
As this year's commemoration in Uganda aims to raise awareness about palliative care, sharing success stories and creating inclusive platforms for dialogue and learning, the Palliative Care Association is on a strong mission to collaborate with the Minister of Education to sensitize and engage the young generation on palliative care.
We have to have a transformation of our education system. We have to have this person come out and we are proud of them. Quality education and sports means that you have developed this young person into a holistic person. And palliative care clubs and other clubs in the schools contribute towards that.
Palliative care, palliative care. We are the Little Penguins Compassionate Club, always there in times of need.
As we celebrate this noble day, we remember those under palliative care. The world knows that the pain is too much.
We come from communities where men are taught not to cry, that the pain is too much. The pain is so unbearable. The pain is too much. You cannot bear to cry. No more silence. I repeat, no more silence. My soul can bear this no more. My soul is tired.
Sometimes your souls get tired, and what is left is to cry. But today, the whole world feels your pain.
A hand
of compassion, source of love. Have you ever wondered why bottles that are left on streets are later picked up, cleaned up, and made valuable again?
Have you ever wondered why people who do this are not animals, but human beings like us set up a place? This is what we as compassionate community is all about.
Chris Buyondo, UBC.
Thank you, Chris Buyondo. Now, Uganda Local Government Workers Union has officially called off the nationwide industrial action that began on Wednesday, 1st of October 2025. The union's General Secretary Hassan Luabai Modiba said the local government staff have agreed to resume work effective Monday, 13th October 2025 as the union leadership continues to dialogue with the government.
Yeah, I'm Hassan Luabai Modiba, General Secretary of Uganda Local Government Workers Union. I here to inform all of the striking workers in Local Government Workers Union that arising from the meeting we had with the Right Honorable Speaker of the Republic of Uganda on Wednesday, 8th October 2025, where we petitioned her and she received our petition on that day regarding salary disparity, and she promised that she's going to make sure that issues concerning salary disparity.
Now, in more news, women leaders, youth and food producers from across Africa have localized the Committee on World Food Security's voluntary guidelines on gender equality and women's empowerment. The initiative was led by Leonida Odongo of Haki Nawiri, Africa.
Led by Leonida Odongo of Haki Nawiri, Africa, the forum aimed to turn global policy into community action.
When you talk about food production, women do not control land. You find that, for example, they suffer from gender-based violence. Like yesterday, we went to a fishing community, and what was coming out is sometimes women get discriminated when they do fishing, which is a form of natural resources and a form of food production. Particularly when women are discriminated when they menstruate. They're actually not allowed to touch the boats or even get close to the water.
Delegates from Kenya, Uganda, Cameroon, Togo and Tanzania discussed challenges such as land ownership, fisheries access and gender-based discrimination.
When a woman is being cheated in her fishery and she decides to go in the boat, her fellow men who are working with her, they will say, you've been sent by a witch doctor to come and assimilate our power, but also our richness, so that you become more rich.
I think that these guidelines would go a long way to help my sisters who are from the indigenous peoples group and the pastoralist group in empowering them as far as nutrition and food security is concerned.
Participants urged African governments to integrate the guidelines into national policies, empower rural women, and break cultural barriers that limit their role in food production.
We've spoken about involving the policy makers as well. We've spoken about including change makers as well in our respective countries, and I think that is very, very, very powerful.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Thank you, Sudat, for that report. Now, the Commission for Health, Training and Education at the Ministry of Education and Sports, Dr. Safina Musene, has called on learning institutions to strengthen waste management awareness through continuous sensitization and student involvement in cleaning activities. Speaking during the launch of the 5th National Cultural Gala organized by the Fort Porter College of Health Sciences in Fort Porter City, the Commission emphasized that good health is part of Uganda's cultural heritage and warned that improper disposal of solid waste contributes to disease outbreaks. The principal of Fort Porter College of Health Sciences, Kate Kamanda, called for strengthening guidelines on solid waste disposal to safeguard public health and the environment.
The Commissioner for Health Training and Education, Dr. Safina Kisu-Musene, has opened the National Culture Gala organized by Fort Portal College of Health Sciences on the theme Enhanced Institutional Health Through Proper Solid Waste Management.
Solid waste management threatens not only the physical surroundings, but also the health, productivity, and morale of our people.
Dr. Msene emphasized culture as a celebration of song, dance and dress, and a reflection of how communities live, organize and care for their environment.
And therefore we need to engage ourselves, we need to sensitize ourselves, we need to be involved in all these activities for us to be in a clean environment.
The principal of Fort Portal College of Health Sciences, Kate Kamanda, noted that poor solid waste management is a health risk and undermines the beauty and productivity of institutions.
Solid waste has become a major challenge in most of the societies, and in organized institutions, it is worse. We have a big number of students, and a lot of activities are done in institutions. So, generation of solid waste is very high.
She urged institutions to strengthen environmental health practices through proper waste segregation, recycling, and regular cleanup activities.
There is need to sensitize the communities, more so within our institutions, how to manage the solid waste. And as you know, such needs a lot of behavioral change.
We are thinking this practice, if inculcated in the students, will spill over to the communities where the students come from and where they will go to work after the training.
The National Culture Gala promotes sustainable environmental practices across health training institutions. Participating institutions included Medical Laboratory Training School Jinja, Psychiatric Clinical Officers Training School Butabika, Gulu, Mbala and Fort Portal College of Health Sciences.
Schools have commended the Ministry of Education and Sport for supplying them with science kits to support the teaching of science, making it more practical. Educationists are positive that the availability of science kits to more schools will improve performance in science subjects.
Science subjects are misconceived to be hard, particularly at junior level, since sustained effort and high degree of motivation is required to overcome setbacks. But the Ministry of Education and Sports, in collaboration with Riverflow International, have supplied science kits to schools to ease the teaching and learning of science subjects.
We came up with the idea of the science kit, or what is called the mini laboratory, to help promote learning of science practically as early as primary level. You know, we have the laboratories in the secondary schools, but now you realize that the new curriculum has changed. So we need to start with the foundation. And if we don't start early with the learners at primary level, then there's a big challenge in secondary. So we innovated the science kit, which is called the mini laboratory, to help us enhance learning of science practically.
The science kits help to supplement on the diagrams and charts that teachers use in the teaching of science subjects.
This kit is making the learning of science by our children more real. That even the concept that looked abstract is made real through using the models we have in the kit. So it is going to help so much improve the performance in our school.
At Budo Junior, one of the schools that has benefited from the science kits, both the administration and pupils admit that science kits play a key role in the teaching and understanding of science.
Our science kit has helped us a lot. Ever since we got it, we have been using it, and we discovered that learning is much easier using the kit, because formerly I've been using projectors, going on internet to look at the different organs of the body, but since now we have a practical experience on the organs, well, it makes our learning easier, since we can even feel
what it feels like to actually have the organ in your hand.
Today, science has become one of the most difficult subjects to teach, not only to teach, but the most difficult subjects to learn, because it involves a lot of application, a lot of comprehension. And you cannot achieve application competences and comprehension competences unless you have physically touched what you are learning. You either touch, you feel, you smell, and so on. So the coming in of the science kit is going to help us a lot. Number one, it is going to improve learners' interest in the learning of the subject.
Riverflow International focuses on improving education in Africa through provision of learning materials and science kits that connect classroom concepts to daily life.
Thank you, Adia. Now, women activists now want the mentoring of girls to extend to university female students to reduce on their vulnerability. The executive for Raising Teenagers Uganda, Hope Natukunda Mwijuka, says many organizations focus on primary pupils and secondary school students, yet university students also face a lot of social challenges.
University students are always looked at as individuals who are mature and need less or no mentorship. The Executive Director for Raising Teenagers Uganda, Hope Natukunda Mwijuka, points out that many university students are suffering in silence due to lack of mentorship and guidance. She was speaking during the celebration of the International Girls' Day by Raising Teenagers Uganda and partners of West Asia Girls Network on the theme, Celebrate, Empower and Protect the Girl Child.
But a few times when we invited university students, I realized that there are a lot of challenges within the universities, and that is why now we also organize for them to come as university students to get a place where they can feel safe and share their challenges and seek guidance and receive help. And over the years now, we've seen progress. We've seen girls come out of their shells, speak up and seek help. And that is why we want to encourage each and everyone out there that whenever you have an opportunity, inspire one girl, inspire one person, because sometimes people are carrying a lot of challenges.
When you go to university, girls might think that they are safe within the university, but that is not the case. They face a lot of problems. For example, the books are sometimes hard, but also secondly, they face a lot of distractions from different boys and different men who promise them a lot of things, which in some circumstances they never give to them. So what I have learned from Rising Teenagers Uganda and the whole concept is that one, my education is paramount and it is something that is important to me. So I should prioritize my education as something that is good, but also secondly, as a lady, I have the same power as a man to do what I want to do with my life.
Stakeholders emphasized the need for the society to support girls' education.
I believe that we should support girls to go through school, whether or not we know them, because first of all, it's paying it forward. I'm sure that each one of us can attest that we were helped to go to school. Maybe they didn't pay your fees, but there was a teacher who taught you. There was someone who believed in you. There was a friend who helped you with something that you were struggling with. So the fact that somebody helped you means that when you're able and it's your turn, you too should help someone. I believe in generosity being circular, in passing from one person to another, from one generation to another. And also because if we keep saying that leaders, the youth of today are leaders of tomorrow, leaders have to be trained and educated.
Beautiful and powerful report there, Adia. Now, students who are preparing to start final exams have been urged to remain patient and focused on their studies. Father Mugenyi Peter made the remarks during a special prayer service organized for Senior 4 and Senior 6 candidates at Chitebi Secondary School.
Students preparing for final examinations have been urged to remain patient, prayerful and disciplined during a special mass at Chitebi Secondary School. Father Peter Mugenyi encouraged Senior 4 and Senior 6 candidates to trust in God and work hard for success.
From this very blessed, so don't forget, be careful, don't forget the Lord your God,
Shaiwa Lugembe Ali Sulaiman and Pastor Samuel Randasa also urged students to seek wisdom, quoting Proverbs chapter 4, verse 1 to 11.
Everything that brings fear and everything that brings destruction, we rebuke it in the name of Jesus.
The principal, Haj Kamlegeya Muhammad, thanked the religious leaders for their support as candidates prepare for briefing and final examinations.
Twagala okwebaza omulabirizi Reverend Bishop Dr. George asobodde okugracinga omukolo gwaffe n'abayizi baffe n'aleadinga dedication bulungi. Kyokka n'okwebaza abaweereza abalala era tusaba Mukama Katonda abaana baffe naffe ffenna na buli muntu yenna abadde mu nsonga zino asobole okubeera nga Katonda amumalira obwetaavu bwe nga bwe.
In more news, State Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, has praised pastors across the country serving souls and praying for peace as Uganda heads towards the general elections. The minister was at a Thanksgiving service hosted by Accreditation Gospel Sowers Church under the leadership of Pastor Darlington Asimwe. Dr. Mayanja, who also serves as a gospel minister in Uganda and abroad, reflected on his journey of preaching to the people living in the ghettos and urged believers to uphold their rights responsibly.
By being exemplary in the family, tuli kyakulabirako bwe batunulira obulamu bwaffe, ne batunulira famire zaffe, ne bawuliza ebigambo byaffe, ne bawuliza ebifaffe nga balaba element eyo ya integrity, obwesimbu, amazima. Ensimbi zitawanyiza bangi.
God of the air, God of the ground, God of the waters, God of the what? I serve this God who is shipping this ship and what? Therefore, don't waste your time. Just throw me in the water. Because the God I serve is a God of the air, God of the water, God of the storm, God of everything. Throw me if you don't want to be in trouble, because me, I'm going where God doesn't want me to go. Now you throw me and you go in your peace. The people say, we can't throw this man. We can't do this. Say you. The wind blew harder. And Jonah went to sleep to rest. He's God. He's the God of the wind. Things we do. We are going by God, whose gospel we preach, and that gospel is confirmed by the miracles of God himself. And that this keeps us going every day because it's new. Every day is new. And that this world is not our home. This world is not our kingdom. We're just going to that other country where we shall live forever. To live with God forever. And when we have fought a good faith and go to that it. And for us it is certain.
In another development, Mbale Regional Referral Hospital has registered significant success in saving the lives of preterm babies. The clinical trial coordinator, Dr. Martha Mudua, says the neonatal intensive care unit admits over 350 small and sick babies every month, some of these neonates weighing as little as 600 grams.
Mbale Regional Referral Hospital in the Mount Elgon region of eastern part of Uganda has become a savior to mothers in eastern Uganda. The neonatal intensive care unit admits over 350 babies every month, most of whom weigh 600 grams. The prevalence has escalated, with the unit accommodating 60 at a time.
We admit babies who are less than 28 days and babies with different conditions. Sometimes they have asphyxia at birth, so they have HIE, infections, sepsis, pneumonias, but also a very big number of our babies are preterm, so those who are born before 9 months.
Interventions like skilled healthcare staff, use of continuous positive airway pressure, CPAP machines, breast milk feeding, prevention infection and kangaroo care have reduced the newborn mortality rate from 52% in 2014 to 20%.
Kangaroo care was one of the very first things that we implemented in 2014. The reason being, it's free, it doesn't cost anything, and we've never had an incubator in the whole 10 years. And initially, and even now, people come and say, you know, I want to donate you an incubator. I don't need an incubator. All the data shows now, thankfully, supports what we do, that actually kangaroo care has so many more benefits for these babies than an incubator. And for us, we always say that the mother is free, or the father, or whoever. They don't need electricity, they don't need batteries and
However, limited space and few CPAP respiratory machines at the hospital can be challenging, leading to death of the preterm.
We started with the 5 CPAP machines, but currently we are running 20 CPAP machines, but still, mostly when we are doing our MPDSR or weekly mortalities, most cause of death, you find that most of these babies really have died because they couldn't get their respiratory support or CPAP machines on time. This is because in Mbale Regional Referral Hospital, we use a system of first come, first serve. In most cases, and also it is really very challenging for these small babies. You cannot say maybe this baby has taken, because really they take a very long period of time on these machines.
Mbale Regional Referral Hospital has received the donation of a baby bus from the Born on the Edge organization and the Muslim charity to address the neonatal mortality and the influx of sick babies at the neonatal unit. The bus moves to 9 high-volume district hospitals and health centers to review their preterm patients and train health workers in neonatal care.
So mama, our baby, the temperature is 35.9, showing that the baby's temperature is low, the baby is cold. So we need to put this baby on the chest, because these small babies, they don't generate their own heat. They get heat from the external. So the baby will need to get heat from your chest. So when you put the baby on the chest, most of the time, the baby will not be cold.
The mobile clinic is a relief to mothers from different districts who would otherwise have traveled more than 30 kilometers to receive specialized treatment for their sick babies. Some babies look visibly weak, malnourished, and in need of urgent medical attention. The hospital serves a catchment area of 16 districts and 1 city. It receives more than 120 outpatients in a year and 60,000 inpatients. Mothers to these small babies are taught how to take care of their fragile babies.
You need to massage your baby. Are you watching well? Hey, you must massage the baby the hand like this, eh? Like this. And don't give a neighbor, to massage for you your baby. It will break the hand. Eh? So you are the one to do what? You massage, eh? Baby.
I really thank God for them, because they have been teaching me what to do, how to care for the baby, how to breastfeed, how to do each and everything concerning a preterm baby. Really, I didn't know what to do, because he is my firstborn, and I didn't know how to care for a preterm. I'd not even seen a preterm baby before.
We have a very high birth rate, and of course, as you are probably aware, we also do have a very high rate of teenage pregnancies in this region. And because of those factors, we do get a large number of patients. Of course, the NICU also receives referrals from many other districts. And as you know, we still have issues within this region, for example, of complications surrounding delivery, delayed deliveries, and also difficulty in people accessing safe maternal care quite often.
The high number of preterm babies at Mbale Regional Referral Hospital Neonatal Intensive Care Unit is partly because it is in a densely populated region.
Thank you so much, Frank Masajage, for that report. UBC News Tonight returns after the break.
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalippagano ka bidduka. Simanyi kuzunga na banka siripusi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *5*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu eya Uganda.
Every waking day is a reminder just how beautiful this, our land, truly is. The kind of beauty that you can only find here, in the lush green all around us and the wondrous sights within. It's in the distinct aroma of our cooking to the taste of food that takes you on a journey. In the sound of homecoming and the sound of Mother Earth. In the magnificence we find on our travels and the exciting moments we experience. Ours is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
Big thing about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. MTN kabo the Super mustairo mpia. Then you kabo the smartphone nebi yakabibiona. MTN kabo the Super mustairo mpia. Then you kabo the smartphone nebi yakabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest mpora in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply.
MTN.
MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
UBC News Tonight continues. Now, in more news, in an era when climate change and food insecurity dominate global discussions, one Ugandan school is quietly transforming classrooms into innovation hubs. St. Kizito High School Namugongo is empowering students to become green innovators through smart farming, clean energy, and sustainability projects that are drawing global attention. We have a report.
Dr. Evers Atwine, an international parenting expert at the International Center for Mental Health and Family Care, notes that many children who became violent or disruptive in society often reflect the environment they were raised in, starting from their own homes.
We say every sin is nurtured at home. And so a person is actually born corrupt, self-seeking.
At St. Kizito High School, Namugongo innovation begins young. Here, students are not just studying science, they are living it.
And plants have enough space. Not like plants can't compete for water, for all the nutrients because they're ever there compared to the soil. And then they go very fast supplying food to the whole area.
From backyard gardens to solar-powered irrigation systems, learners are using technology and creativity to tackle real-world problems, especially food security.
We started this program, we call it Holistic and Practical Education Program, and it is aiming at equipping skills to the learners to make them function well in society, and also to equip them with the necessary skills that will help them navigate the problems around them, especially concerning climate change. So among the projects we have mushroom growing, we have fish farming, we have hydroponic gardening, where we grow crops like vegetables using only water without soil. we recycle. We have recycling where recycle waste and produce a number of items like briquettes, charcoal briquettes in form of energy. Charcoal briquette, we get our organic waste, we dry it, we burn it, and then we transform it into briquettes. Briquettes is charcoal.
The school's 6th annual Green Expo, held under the theme Smart Farming for Food Security, showcased dozens of students-led projects, including organic fertilizers, biopesticides, recycled materials, and ICT-driven farming tools.
Now, character development changes in many children around the world have been largely attributed to poor parenting. Over 90% of a child's social behavior and character is shaped by the parental care they receive at home.
Dr. Evers Atwine, an international parenting expert at the International Center for Mental Health and Family Care, notes that many children who became violent or disruptive in society often reflect the environment they were raised in, starting from their own homes.
We say every sin is nurtured at home. And so a person is actually born corrupt, self-seeking, self-centered. But parenting helps a person to consider other people, to know that they are not in this world alone.
While engaging with parents and teachers at the Olive School in Wakiso, Dr. Atwine urged young parents to actively engage with their children from an early age. She emphasized the importance of grooming children into responsible adults through the international and consistent parenting. Dr. Atwine also advised parents to stop undermining their children or treating them as insignificant individuals and instead nurture them as future leaders and responsible citizens.
People to help parents know that parenting is learned. You don't just parent the way you were parented. Maybe you were not parented well, but you grew. And so we don't want to have more generations of just people grown but parented and nurtured the right way.
Built on Christian values, the principal of the Olive School, Richard Baguma, highlighted the importance of partnering with parents in the joint effort of raising responsible Ugandans.
And when you're born, your earlier years, you're raised as a child, you're taught how to walk, talk, but thereafter, a school should be the best home a child should have because it promotes social skills. You meet very many children. It promotes play, promotes learning, promotes spiritual aspect. So a school should be a well-designed home.
He said the school prioritizes holistic child development, viewing strong character and good behavior as the foundation for nurturing humanity.
Be parents that are intentional. That's what I learned. That you cannot, presence is everything.
We didn't know how to do this, but they've given us more enlightening scenarios.
Opening our eyes to see, especially as parents, how we should raise children who will be better adults that will be able to create impact in the community.
In business, the Minister for Science and Technology, Monica Mosenero, has urged exhibitors to make use of displaying their products to help them grow. She was closing the 31st UMA Trade Fair 2025 in Kampala.
The 31st UMA Trade Fair 2025 has closed in Kampala with a call on investors to display their products. The Minister for Science, Technology and Innovation, Monica Mosenero, tasked exhibitors to look for distributors to help on market search.
Some of you have iPhone. Have you ever been to the maker? Have you ever seen the person who makes that product? You don't. You don't know. All you know is you know a brand. How was that brand built? The distribution system is critical now for our next phase as an issue. The distribution system for us to be able to distribute, because even within Uganda, many of us are confined to Western Uganda.
This was during the closure of the 31st Uma Trade Fair 2025. Musenero toured different stalls, including Professor Bioresearch, who also made sugar from monk fruit.
And on behalf of Prof Bioresearch, we have new stuff on board. One of them is Matugunda sugar called monk fruit. This sugar is 3 times sweeter than a normal sugar. So someone with diabetes, someone with pressure, someone with ulcers, they can still use this normal sugar, the Matugunda sugar. And as well, someone who is not sick, because we found it that it's very sweet and very nice. It has 0 calorie. Even when you're struggling with weight, you can use Matugunda sugar. And someone out there, we've been talking about Matugunda sugar for a while, and there are promotions that are on board.
Kaumu Leather Company also exhibited different products made from leather.
Actually, it is our 3rd year in existence. So I am glad to give you the information that Kaumu Industries Uganda, one of their major objectives is adding value. That was initially the call from the President of Uganda by the time he was thinking and setting up this factory. Addition of value to the local hides and skins, which were normally exported on a very small price or a small amount of money. So we are glad that it has actually come to existence, and we are adding value and fetching more money from these leather types, more than what we used to get as a country when we were just exporting raw materials.
Thank you for that report. Now, the Bishop of Mukono Diocese, Enos Kagodo, has warned graduates to not sell the startup tools that they are given to start work. He says the target is to reduce youth unemployment. He was speaking at the 4th graduation of Mead Vocational College in Njeru, and according to the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, the unemployment rate increased from 2.94% with 0.15% from 2023. The figure also shows 700,000 working-age Ugandans as jobless and 42% of the youth unemployed. And in another development, Luanda High School in Jinja District has dedicated her candidates in the hands of the Lord as they start UNEB exams tomorrow. The Catholic section was represented by Father Kenneth Orom.
Supposed to be job creators, because not all of us are going to have white-collar jobs. It's not that we don't love offices, but it's all about us having our own aims.
When we did our exams, I was a bit scared, because people would undermine me. They thought I didn't have energy, maybe because I was a girl, but literally I wasn't the only girl there. But to my surprise, when the exams came back, I had passed.
I decided to go vocational because that's the way to go. As per the ministry and the new changes in the curriculum, we are now looking at the competence communities outside there.
Be faithful as you use these instruments. It will be a curse if you sell them, and if you don't use them accordingly. It is a curse. So
praying to him, so his role, his work will only be blessing us.
For us at Luanda High School, we have preserved that tradition. We have briefed our candidates of Senior 4, and at the same time, we have also used it to dedicate them in the hands of God.
Within my parish where I work, today we are here to bless the candidates of Senior 4 and Senior 6 here in Luanda High School, Jinja. And we are really very glad that we are blessing these candidates, and we are really very happy that we dedicate them to the Lord before they do their exams, and they put God first in everything that they do, especially in their academic life. And that is the reason as to why we're here today at this school, and we are very glad that this school puts God first in everything that they do, and even that they nurture children within the society putting God first, so that we may have good citizens within.
In more news, a young Ugandan innovator, Fred Tuhaide, has taken a bold step in fighting against poverty by using carpentry skills to manufacture wooden and steel machines locally. Tuhaide told UBC that he was inspired by President Yoweri Museveni's message that Ugandans must fight against poverty through job creation.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni established skilling centers to equip young Ugandans with vocational skills and fight unemployment.
I'm a carpenter, and as such I even make machines of carpenter, such as the wood cutting machine, molding machine. Father had a gonde, a carpentry workshop. So by then we never had the ones of welding and the whatever, and I never had those skills of welding and the so on. So at first I was building these machines in wood. And my first machine to be made out of wood was a wood cutting machine, even still pan now.
Fred Tuhaire, a young carpenter, turned his family's small carpentry business into an innovation hub for making local carpentry tools.
At Insambia, we were the population of almost 2,000 and whatever, so I always had been busy 24/7. But after coming to Chigo, the number reduced, there were no business, so I found myself idle. After finding myself idle, I thought that no, I'm just seated, I have no work to do, I'm broke as per now, but I have my talent. So there are the carpenters that needed the machine works, and they always paid me. Cutting, timber, mortising, molding.
Fred started the idea after President Museveni said it's their turn to fight the war against poverty through job creation. Tuhaire made affordable tools Ugandans use instead of importing.
So he told us that his war of fighting for freedom to all the Ugandans was his, but the one of business is not his, but for the Ugandans. So since then, I just had built only 3 machines. So I got that inspiration, and by the time that we left in Zambia, I had at least built 12 of them.
Carpentry has been his family's source of income since childhood. The trade has sustained them.
But I at least started from wood, making the wood cutting machine out of wood. Now, as per now, I'm on metal, whereby that I have at least put a difference.
His innovation, crafted with his precision and creativity, are helping many local carpenters access affordable tools.
We all have different talents, but me as Fred, I'm focusing on carpentry, such as machines of furniture, to whereby that when I'm at least funded, I can give skills to the youth.
After showcasing his impressive work, Tuhaire appeals to the president to support his innovation.
My president buys my idea of at least it's buying these machines from me and giving them to those youth that have completed their studies, then it can add on.
Now, the NRM government has encouraged more local investors to establish projects that employ Ugandans. The proprietor of Kes Hospital, Kato Sebale, says in the last 30 years of the hospital, he has provided world-class treatment to different people of East Africa and employs over 400 Ugandans. He says more people can access better health services.
Cases are 30 today, Uganda is 63. But let me tell you the truth. We must thank the government, because without the stability that we've had, nobody will have the confidence to invest. But I really pray that government out there looks at us as part and parcel of the ship, Uganda, and they should offer us more and more help when things go difficult.
The past which cements the future, where Ugandan owned 100%, if it was possible, to be 101 out of 100. But we're 100% owned company, and we should be proud of that.
We have grown as far as clinics are concerned. So these are some of the milestones that we have achieved as an institution. But there is one milestone that we tend to forget as employees. That while we are here, as we are celebrating 30 years, there is that one milestone that should be appreciated by government, but we tend to ignore it as employees. Is the employment opportunity. We are all here working for Kes Hospital. We are a team of 476 and we are earning a living because of this.
Now in sports, the 2025 corporate run has taken place with thousands of runners embracing the event at National Enterprises Corporation ground in Bugolobi. We have a report.
The run, organized by Corporate Games, has attracted over 3,000 runners from both the public and the 48 companies that participate in these games. It was run on the theme of Run for Expectant Mothers, purposely to collect mama kits.
We would like to appreciate the runners. Today we have over 4,000 corporate runners that have participated in this run. What we are saying is that no mother should die while living a life. So this run is for a cause to improve maternal health. And we're happy that so many people turned up to run for this good cause.
This year's benefits will go to Kabonero Health Center 4 in Bunyangabo District and Kiwangalo Health Center 4 in Lwengo District.
I feel so happy because I'm also because I'm a mom, so I know what it's like to run for mothers.
This means a lot. This means a lot to mothers because I am one of them. So this is a very noble cause for us to get out on a Sunday morning and come out here to support the expectant mothers. We are alive to the fact that government has done a lot in the health sector, but it's important for us as citizens to make our contribution.
There was competition in 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers and the 3 kilometers, which was predominantly walked by chief executive officers.
Let's clap for ourselves who have participated, most especially the pregnant mothers who joined this course. On behalf of the Ministry of Health, I appreciate everyone.
The run, that is now in its second year, has previously donated to Jinja and Gulu districts. This year's edition has been enabled in collaboration with companies like Novo Games, Bet Power, Electro Commission and NEC Uzima. The Corporate Games is a non-government entity that is charged with organizing sports competition between corporate bodies.
Thank you so much for those reports. Now, News Tonight comes to an end. We appreciate your audience. My name is Moureen Babirye. We wish you a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.